Today what we'll be trying to do is we'll be trying to basically install PyCharm. Okay, so episode 20.md. Okay, so PyCharm. Okay, so what is this PyCharm and why should I basically use that, right? So first of all, right, this is most popular IDE, integrated developer environment, right, for Python's scripting language. For Python language, let me not write it as scripting language. Okay, so it has best of the class features. This has best of the class features such as code completion and inspection. Okay, it has something like advanced debugging, right? And then it supports for web programming. Okay, and frameworks such as Django, right? Flask, right? And many more. Okay, and many more. Right. So when we basically speak about PyCharm, PyCharm has two editions to it. One is basically the free edition, right? Uh, which we'll be using, which is called as a community edition, right? So PyCharm, right, has the following flavors. Okay, we'll start by using a no cost one. One is community, the other one is enterprise version. This is a paid version, okay, or you can get a trial version. Okay, so let me go to first. Let me stop this machine. 1 minute. I've created this in a Linux class. Stop. Right. Okay. PyCharm. So if you go into PyCharm, okay. So if you download, click on download, you will be seeing two editions. One is professional, the other one is community, right? So I've written it as enterprise. All right. Okay. So initially, at least for all of this core Python, we really don't need the paid one. So we need paid one when we basically start working on web frameworks, right? Start database programming and all of that stuff. Okay. Initially, we'll be using the community edition of PyCharm. Okay. So refer here for download links, right? So if you are using Mac or a Linux machine also, you can install this stuff. Am I clear on this? Right? So for installation instructions, refer here. Okay. So you would have installation instructions over here. So if you basically click on any of the stuff, so I'm not going to basically show you all of that, but are you seeing there are installation instructions for everything? So if you select Windows, it will show you the Windows instructions. Yeah. So right. And then if you basically try to select Mac, it will show you the Mac instructions, right? So I'm not going to basically get into every one of that. Okay. But let me close this. Right. So PyCharm can be installed on Windows, Mac, and Linux as well, right? So, but right now in this classroom, I'll be using Windows flavor, obviously, right? So let us see how do I do that. I'll go over here and then I'll start downloading this. Oh, I'm sorry. I've started downloading the Mac edition of it. Okay. So it is approximately 300 MB of download. Depending on your internet speed, it would take whatever time it might. Okay. All right. I'll just say open when done. So I would say yes. Okay. Then it is asking Python community edition setup, right? So I don't want to give any screenshots also. I think you can easily find it out, right? So it is trying to tell that this will be installed in this location, right? It requires 760 MB and you have 29.7 GB of it, right? So then it is asking, do you want to create a 64-bit launcher? Yeah. Do you want to communicate, add this stuff? Do you want to associate .py files? I don't want to. That's the reason why I'm not doing that, right? So when you update the path variable, you might need to restart the machine. So it's okay. Let me click on next. Now it is a very simple installation. Okay. Download PyCharm and community edition, whatever is latest, and okay, install as per installation instructions. So if you want to see the details, which do not make much of sense for us, but if you want to see, you can just click on show details. Right. Yeah, it will be installed on a 32-bit laptop also. Yes. But I'm not sure why you are carrying a 32-bit laptop still. Okay. So right now I will say that I will manually reboot it later because my class will be disturbed. But for you, it is a better option to basically go with reboot now. Am I clear on this? Yeah. For me, I'm not doing that because I'm in the classroom. Right. So I'll just say finish. That's it. So we have done the installation. Okay. So once you have finished the installation, okay, let us start PyCharm. Let's start PyCharm. And when you want to start PyCharm, you will be seeing an icon created right on your desktop. Right. Copy path. Right. Okay. what is it? 19. Okay, right. Review dot slash images slash python 19 dot png. All right. Now let me go to the desktop, double click this stuff. All right. So then the first screen, it is basically trying to tell us, do you want to config or if you have an existing PyCharm settings, you can import the settings. I don't want to import any settings. I don't want to import any, right? So I'll click on OK by basically saying that do not import any settings. Right. All right. So let me go over here and then say OK. Then it is asking what is the theme which you would like. Do you like a dark theme or do you want to use a light theme? Okay. So I prefer dark theme. So I'll be basically going with default. Okay. Right. So I prefer dark theme. For the people who don't like dark themes, you can choose that light one on the right side. So your editor will look something like this. Okay. So then there is something called as featured plugins. Okay. Or you can basically say that set defaults. Whatever is default, you can set it. Okay. Right. So okay, let me do this at a later point of time. Next, featured plugins. Right. So then it is asking, okay, do you want to have any of the featured settings that do you want R language support? Do you want to basically have AWS toolkit? Do you want to have a Vim editor or VI editor? Okay. So right now I don't want to have any of them. Okay. So at least not at this moment. So I can basically say that start using PyCharm. Okay. Or I can select the skip remaining and set defaults, whatever choice which you want. Right. So this is 22. So I'll say start using PyCharm. So till now, whatever we have seen is these are one-time questions, right? This is a screen which you will see all the time. Okay. So let me write it 20, 21, and 22. Right. And set up one-time settings. Okay. So after this, this is the starting screen of PyCharm. Right. So whatever you are seeing right now at this moment, this is basically the screen. So from here is what we basically deal every time. Right. So from here, you can basically create new projects. You can open existing projects. You can get it from version control, and then you would have something like configurations, or you can get the help also. You can get the help. This is a screen which you would see all the time whenever you try to launch PyCharm. Right. Good. So let me basically click on configure to see what are the different things. So in configure, okay, you can set some of the properties. Okay, but that is too much for day one. That is too much for day one. Okay, fine. So let us start using the PyCharm. Okay, so I'll basically select the new project. Okay, now let's create a new project using PyCharm. Right, this is a Python project which we want to create. Right. So even if you are using a different operating system, this UI will not change a lot. So click on this new project, right? And then it is asking for path, right? So I will try to tell that it is learning. Okay. And right now I am not very much worried about what these settings are. Okay. So when I'm creating the new project, but as we proceed further, we will try to understand them. Okay. So this virtual environment is a new stuff for us. Okay. I have not spoken about what a virtual environment is. Right. Fine. Now let me basically go ahead and then create. Okay. Right. 24, 25. Right. Okay. So let me close the tips. First time it takes a lot of time. We have not spoken about what a virtual environment is, and I don't want to speak it also. Right. Yeah. Good. Right. So this is how the whole screen appears. Right. Right. Good. So now this is basically the editor where we will be doing the stuff, where we'll be doing the doing lot of stuff from now on. Okay. So it is better that we basically get used to this editor to understand different areas, right? So this is your project navigation area. This area, whatever you are seeing on the left hand side, this is where we will try to write the code. And in the bottom, you are seeing Python console, you are seeing terminal, right? You are seeing to dos. We'll be using slowly all of them, right? Looking at everything on day one seems scary. So let us not do that. Let us not do that. Okay. Right. So let me go to this editor. Okay. And then this is a sample script. If you want, you can put it, or else you can basically remove it. Now let me open this learnings. So are you seeing main.py, right? Yeah. So this is basically your file view. Okay. And you can add your Python files over here. Okay. We'll be doing that. So let me go over here and let me showcase this. So what is that we have done? We have opened, sorry, we have opened the learnings, and then we are seeing a file which is called as main.py. Okay. 27. Right. So now, as I said, which editor you use is completely your organizational choice. Which editor you use, there is no one dictating the terms, right? Every editor has its own uh, set of users who always like it. Some people still use VA editor for writing Python code. Okay, right. But the whole idea is we'll be using Visual Studio Code is a simple editor, right? So you really need not to have a lot of RAM running for Visual Studio Code. But if you understand this, okay. So let me show you how much PyCharm takes decent amount of memory. So if you are seeing, it almost takes 700 MB for running this application. So let me, where is it? Sorry, see. So it takes 700 MB in RAM to run it. But Visual Studio Code doesn't take that much, right? So PyCharm is used by serious development when it comes to Python. Okay, right? But when you use Visual Studio Code, you don't need this much of amount of RAM. When you are writing simple code, that is where Visual Studio Code will come up. Right? Fine. Now, generally, whenever we want to use any editors, we will always have some challenges, right? So the challenges is what are the shortcuts? The challenges is what are the shortcuts and what are the different basics? How do I basically navigate, right? So what you can always do is you can try to tell that I want to create a new Python file. Okay, so let us do this stuff. Okay, create a new Python file for, okay, implementing a class called as number. If you remember in the last class, I've asked you to implement this number, right? So I'm creating a new file over here. Okay, and this Python file is something which I'll be calling as number.py. Number.py. Okay, so how do I define class? Sorry, saying class and then number. Okay, I can basically define my class something like this, right? Yeah, right. And now, so is this visible to you or do you want me to increase size? Okay, fine. So def underscore underscore init of self comma number. So I'll be using self dot number equals to number. Okay, so right, let me show you certain steps with this. Okay, now def is even. Let me use is even method. Okay, so then I will try to tell return. Okay, self dot number percentage 2 equals to 0 or not. Am I clear? Okay, do you want me to increase the font size? Okay, right. So edit. uh, I don't want to zoom. Edit, right, file settings. Okay, font size. Okay, I don't want to use a custom font. This is not editor. Yes, font. Yeah. So right now it is using 14. Okay, let me use 18. Is this okay now? Or do you want me to increase it further? Right. Okay. So now if you look at this whole stuff, okay, whenever you're writing code, are you observing this? Whenever you write code, PyCharm is trying to give you some of the suggestions over here. Yes. Yeah. Right. Okay. Let us look into what that is. Okay. And create a simple is even method. Okay. PyCharm starts hinting. Okay. So what are the hints which PyCharm is giving? Let us see what they mean to us. Okay. So if you click on this hint, okay, what is it trying to tell? It is trying to tell that, okay, you have messed up. Okay, you are missing a white space after comma. Remember Pep8? What is a Pep8? Pep8 is a styling guide. So this editor, while you are writing the code itself, is hinting you saying that, okay, you can write the code decently. Why do you want to mess it up? Why do you want to mess it up? Right? So let me do this. Okay. Okay, I'll not be showing you screenshots of every error, but let me show you how to fix it. Okay. So if you click over here, okay, you will be seeing this, and just click on reformat file. Sorry, see, PyCharm has automatically corrected it. And are you seeing this decent hint now, saying that whatever code which you have written is completely clean now? Yes or no, sir? So while using this editor, we will automatically be learning about naming variables, right? Without paying too much attention into learning of styling. Am I clear on this, sir? Okay, right. And then when you click on this class, okay, right? So are you seeing there are many different things over here? Okay, and then there is something called as generate. Okay, so are you seeing generate copyright? Okay, if you basically try to create a copyright, you can create your own copyright files that your organization will be doing it. Okay, and similarly, remember we have implemented doc strings. Yeah, Python will automatically add this stuff for you. Python. Is it looking better now? Sir, it is showing choose an interpreter. Sir, you should have installed Arshia. You should have installed Python first, right? Before installing this PyCharm, you should have Python on this machine. If without Python, PyCharm installing doesn't make sense. Right. Okay. Now, if you see, you can write documentation. This class represents a number. Okay. Oh man, this is in it. Right. This is initialization method. Okay. Number. Okay. So generally initialization method returns what? It returns an object of type number. Okay. Is even. What will is even do? This method returns or is used to find the number is even or odd. Returns true if even, false otherwise. How is your code looking now? More professional? Yes or no, sir? Don't worry about the code. I'm not worried about the code. But how is the code looking now? Right? But was there a lot of pain in doing this? Yeah. So if you have to do the same thing on Visual Studio Code, you might need to take a lot of steps on your own. But when it comes to PyCharm, PyCharm is automatically right configured to do certain things, and it is automatically configured for you in writing the code in a decent way. In a decent way. Am I clear on this, sir? Yeah, right. Okay. So let me show you the screenshot of this method. So right, isn't it the code looking good over here now? Right. Suddenly starts looking more professional. Right. Now add doc strings to the number, to the number class. Right. Good. Now what we would try to do is, okay, this is looking fine, right? Okay. Now whenever you want to know the shortcuts of PyCharm, whenever you want to know key maps of PyCharm, right? So one thing which you can do is, if you can go on help, okay, and then in help you would be seeing a lot of help with respect to this stuff. Are you seeing keyboards shortcut reference? Oh, sorry, my bad. Key map reference. Okay. So where is MSP? All right. And select key map reference. Okay. So when you select a key map reference, okay, key map, okay, then you will be seeing something which looks like this. Okay. So this you can stick it to your desk. This you can take a printout and stick it to your desk, right? So you will have whole of your screenshots, or the whole of your keyboard commands over here, right? So it is not easy for you to directly start understanding or using all of the shortcut keys, but have a habit. Have a habit of getting used to editors. This is one of the easiest way for you to basically understand the stuff, right? Am I clear on this? Yeah. And then, for example, if you are trying to find a shortcut, okay, the other thing what you can do is, you can go into help, okay, and are you seeing find action? Okay. So let me basically show you. These are the only two tips which I'll be showing you, right? Finding shortcuts, right? Fine. Okay. Right. Okay. Fine. And after that, what you can try to tell is, you can try to tell what is the shortcut which you are trying to look out for. So let me basically click on this, find an action, and then what is the action which I want to look out for? I want to look out an action, okay, for something like this, okay, or let me use this method, okay, right. So are you seeing, whenever you type an action, it will try to tell you what are the different things that are available and what are the different shortcuts that are available for you. Am I clear on this, sir? Yeah. So I've typed something called as method and it is giving you different options, right? If you don't remember the shortcuts, initially you can start using this. Okay. But my suggestion is, right, that shortcut key will always help you out. Right? Okay. Right. So now let us try to basically go to main.py and let me remove all of this stuff and let me write a very simple code over here. Okay. I want to use that number class over here. So import number. Are you saying import number? Don't worry about what that is. That is exactly what we'll be discussing in our next class. Right? That is where we define modules and how to use modules. Right? So I'll be trying to write, okay, my underscore number is equals to number dot number of 5. Okay. So my underscore number dot is even. Okay. Something like, oh, sorry. Something like this. Now here also I'm getting some suggestions, improvements. So reformat file. I have reformatted the file. Okay. Still there is one warning. Okay. Let us try to see what is that warning. Yeah, no, it has reformatted. Okay. Right. Now are you seeing? This is my usage code. Okay. So how to write this import statement and all of that stuff, don't worry about it because that is what I'll be discussing. But if you look at this editor, is this editor looking clean? Yeah, right. So writing code with respect to these kind of editors would make more sense. Now just click on control button and click on this number. It will try to show you that this is a method. Are you seeing this? What is that I've done? By pressing the control key, I have basically clicked on number. By pressing the control key, I pressed on is even. By pressing the control key, I click on print and then it shows what is print methods definitions also. Am I clear on this? Just hold the control key and plus, or else you can right click on it and then basically there will be something like go to definition or something like that. Okay. Yeah, go to implementation. All right. So you can right click, go to, and then select implementation or directly enter, use the control key, press the control key and hover it over here. So are you seeing? Is it going to our methods? Yes. Yes or no, sir? Okay. Right. So you can go into your existing methods also. Right. So are you seeing? These are the methods which are defined by Python. It still gets into that code and it tries to show you the at least the documentation of it. Okay. So are you able to navigate? So all of that navigation comes from here. So that navigation, okay, PyCharm navigation. Okay, right. Let me go over here and select this. Okay. This is a very interesting screen and especially when we are working on huge projects, all of this will make a lot of difference. Okay. So but for smaller projects, yeah, if you're writing scripts and all that stuff, it might not make a lot of a difference. But as you start working on huge projects, this makes more of sense, right? So for example, Are you seeing navigate? In navigate, what is that? There is something called as control N, right? Yes or no? Are you seeing something called as control N? Okay. So right now I have only one class. So if I click on control N and then if I start writing number, are you seeing there is a class called as number? And if I click on enter, I'm able to get inside this method, right? Even if my code has lots of thousands of classes, I can easily get into classes by using control N. Am I clear on this? Type your class name, that's it. Then it will show you what are the different classes which it has with respect to the. Okay. So let me define one more class to make this simple. So new Python file. Okay. So I'll call it as okay, dummy file. Okay. In dummy file, I'll be just defining some dummy classes. Okay. Class dummy. Okay. Right. And def underscore underscore init. Okay. So I'm writing pass. I'm not writing anything. I'm just writing some dummy methods. Def test underscore dummy underscore method underscore one pass. Okay, pass means I'm not going to implement any code over here. I'm just writing some stuff, right? Yeah, dummy. Yes, you are correct. Def test underscore dummy underscore method underscore two. Okay, here also I'm trying to write pass. Now let me try to create class. Okay, funny. Okay, def underscore underscore init. Okay, and pass. Right. So def is this funny. Pass. So are you seeing it? Okay, then it is giving me some suggestions. So let me click on reformat file. Everything is done. Okay. Now are you seeing in my whole project I have three classes now. One is dummy, the other one is funny, the third one is number. Yes or no, sir? So let me close all of the files. And then let me click on control N. And then let me type dummy. So are you seeing dummy? Okay. Let me do the same thing again. Control N. Funny. Am I able to go to funny? Yes, sir. Is this making sense? Now, even if I have thousands of classes in my project, can I go to that file specifically now? Is it easy for me to navigate? Okay. In the same way, you can basically navigate files also. If you go into navigate and if you know the file name. So something like, okay, I know a file which I have something called as dummy. Okay. So it goes to dummy.py. So let me close this file. Okay. Just look at the shortcut. File is Control Shift N. So Control Shift N. Okay. I have some file which is called as main.py. Are you seeing? It is already showing main.py. Yeah. So navigating is one of the important features of this, and it basically helps you in finding this stuff very easily. Very easily. So am I clear on this, sir? So it is giving you hints on writing the code by following standards. It is helping you to navigate and find the code, right? So is it not the right thing to start with? Yes. So for today, what I want you to do is ensure that you have PyCharm installed on your machines. And from today onwards, till we finish whole of our Python discussion, in all of my classroom stuff, so I'll be using PyCharm. I'll be using PyCharm. And slowly we'll be learning one topic after the other, but just get used to this editor. It is not very difficult. It is not very difficult. Okay, guys. So I'll stop it at that. and we'll continue our tomorrow's classes where we will try to understand what is a module and what is a package in Python.
Thanks for watching. For more videos, subscribe our channel and click on bell icon.